Hey, what's up everybody? John here, and today I am actually hopping on the thread started by my good buddy JC over at the flip side. You gotta check him out. I mean, if you know me, but you don't know JC, it doesn't make much sense to me, but he puts out like 1 million videos a week, and he's a really cool guy, very knowledgeable, and always wears the same type of hat, and it's just fun. So anyway, go check out his channel, but here's what the thread is. 5 albums that we would like to get the top-notch treatment, okay? One step, or he was saying we could go all crazy with it and flip it around and stuff like that and talk mo-fi and things like that. But for me, I'm just thinking one step just sounds so pure. So therefore, here's 5 albums out of the like billion that jumped into my head when I watched his video on this thread idea. Here's my 5 that I'm gonna throw into the mix. Let's do it. All right, so I'm not gonna go into depth on all these albums at all. I am just going to try to just show you boom, 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 5 albums. First one comes from 1964. It is my go-to Sunday morning album, rainy day album. It is phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm assuming most of you own this. If you don't, should you be ashamed? Perhaps, but you can fix that by going out and getting it. And they've repressed this thing 1 billion times, I believe, and this is an original copy. But yeah, go get yourself a copy of this. If for nothing else, obviously, the girl from Ipanema, I think her name was Astrud Gilberto. So there was Gilberto on guitar, who's not related at all to the girl that sang with the same last name, Gilberto, who sang on the song and one other song on this album as well. And then you have Stan Getz, obviously, on saxophone. So from 1964, this thing needs the one-step treatment. Next. This next one is a darn near perfect album, and I think it sounds great on this original pressing that I'm holding in my hands that was released in February of 1972. But the 4th album by this gentleman, it has guest stars galore, and it's just a darn near perfect album. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Harvest by Neil Young. And I would love to get this thing one stepped and just hear what it sounds like. Old Man is something my dad used to sing in the car all the time when I was younger. And I just, as I got older, you know, I was going, oh man, take a look at my life, I'm alive. Like, that was from my dad always kind of singing that. But then as I got older and I got into like Heart of Gold, and then I found this album and started digging through it, and there's so much given on this album. You've got David Crosby on this album, you have Graham Nash on this album, you have Linda Ronstadt on this album, James Taylor, you have Stephen Stills. So there's so much going on. The vocals are off the charts. The melodies are just beautiful. So need this one done. Next. Okay, so this one hails from the 21st of January, 1977. Yes, I said 21st of January, not January 21st, because we're talking about a British band here, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually their 10th album, and I just feel like it doesn't get enough recognition. It never has. I think it's always pops up as my favorite of the Pink Floyd albums. Always like lands at number 1, and then for a while I'll go on a wall kick or something, but I always come back to Animals from 1977, and it is just this album of 5 songs, and it's kind of like a prog concept album mix, the way that it's written and done. But I think some of Floyd's finest moments are on here. I do indeed think that Floyd's finest moment is on here, and that is in the song Dogs. And it's about 5 minutes and 20 seconds into it when the drums kick, and then Gilmour comes in with this lead. It's the sexiest thing ever. Like, don't be driving a vehicle when that hits you. You know what I'm saying. No? All right. So, now this album reached number 2 in the UK and number 3 in the US. And yet, not a whole lot of people wear the animals shirt. Not a whole lot of people talk about animals or anything like that. And it's always kind of bugged me. So that's why I picked this one as one that I think that this thing needs a one step. I want to hear that magical moment, 5 minutes and 20 seconds into dogs in the purest form possible. Next. All right, well, I did not purposefully pick all these albums from the 70s, but my goodness, you know, this one is in 1978 it came out. So this is their third album. I think a lot of people think this is their best album. I love many of their albums, but I went right to this one, and I think it definitely needs to have the one step, and that would be Cheap Trick's Heaven Tonight. If you don't know this album, then you need to get on it. It is one of the finest hook-filled pop rock type of albums ever. It is just so good, and it's got the humor. You know, I mean, Rick Nielsen's guitar playing is just phenomenal, but just his goofiness mixed with Bun, whatever his name is, they're the drummer, I forget, but it's just a near perfect album, and there's attitude in it, so it's kind of almost like, I don't want to say punk because it doesn't have any type of a punk sound, but this made it cool to be cool in the late 70s, and I was 2 years old when this came out, so I know. Next. All right, my fifth entry is actually going to be digging down into the 50s, so we're out of the 70s. This is the debut vocal album by this guy. I've shown this album before. He could be my favorite all-time artist. Ladies and gentlemen, Chet Baker and his Chet Baker Sings album. Oh my goodness, I cannot even imagine what it would be like to have this one-stepped and to hear what that would sound like, his trumpets and his vocals. I can't even imagine. They're just now coming out. Like, I went online to get them literally today. Sold out, looks like most places I've been so far. I gotta keep digging, but they repressed 4 of his albums. I think this is one of them on some record label. I can't remember what. I don't care, to tell you the truth, because it's new, repressed Chet Baker. But for the purpose of this video, this baby right here needs to be one step real quick, real quick. And as I've said before on other albums today, if you don't know this record, check it out, please. Hopefully I did a good job for my friend JC. I hope it was enjoyable. Hey, you know, like it and subscribe and all that kind of stuff if you feel like it. I'll be trying to put out more content here soon. And until next time...